See, we already just had an off camera topic that was just brewing, and then they just went ahead and paused it. So that is what it is. Anyway, right now the first thing we're gonna jump to is we're gonna jump to entitlement. Entitlement. What is it? Men or women that are the most entitled? I don't know. I just think there's a lot of people that are entitled on both sides, but specifically speaking, I'm gonna take the light route first because it's hot over here on this other corner. So I'm gonna start with Frank. I'm gonna start with Frank, man. Give us a little bit on this entitlement. We got some entitlement going on among men and women these days.
Man, I can only speak from what I see online. I don't know what it is for single people out in the street, like in real time, but just from what I see, just from conversations that I see happening back and forth every day, is that it went from um, serving each other to getting what they can out of each other. I don't never see talks of people in relationship talking about what they give. It's always about what they want to receive, and it's never about, you know what I'm saying. It's never about I'm putting in, so I expect to, receive this back. It's always you got to show up first. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know when that shift started. I've never known through our relationship, and y'all know I've been married since forever. So I wasn't out there when the shift happened. Like, I don't know if it's like an age thing, but from hearing people, in our peer group, they say it's some niggas and women in our age group that has the same mentality. I would love to say it's these 2000 babies.
It's not.
No, but it's like some of these 82 niggas and women have adopted this same mentality, and they're enforcing this same narrative. Like, you can't show up and expect to receive a trophy just because you appear. You know what I'm saying? And so all this, what I deserve talk. It's like, you don't deserve anything other than what you worked for.
What you earn.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like this entitlement. It's like you meet somebody and then you start telling folk, well, this is what I deserve to have. Is it because of things that you've endured in your past? Like life doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry for what you went through, but the next person doesn't owe you anything for what somebody else did to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, get off this entitlement BS, man, and put in the work for what you want. Anybody else?
I say this. So I'll speak on. I don't know where it comes from, man. I don't know.
I do.
Okay. Let me back up a little bit. There is and I'll speak in regards to men. Once upon a time, being a good man was good enough. All you had to do was go to work, make a decent wage, pay your taxes, go to church, Easter, Christmas, and every now and again. You had to just protect and provide, and that was it. But the agency of choice that women had back then didn't extend any further than a man that can just basically take care of them. Well, I think men culturally carried a lot of that same standard within themselves into the future. So a lot of men grew up basically, all I gotta do is listen, make sure I got a job. I ain't went to jail. I don't do this. I don't do that. And when I'm grown, I should get my fair share of good women. But women have choice now. They can now choose whether it's for their benefit or not. They can now choose whether or not they want the guy just because he's good. They can now choose to say, I want the good guy who's also cute. I want the good guy who also makes a little bit more money. I want the good guy who also can sing. I want the good guy who also, right? And a lot of dudes weren't taught or told that as you grow up, you're going to have to probably develop some other traits other than being just a good guy.
Like a personality.
Like a personality, like Frank said a while back, dudes are hanging their hat on being faithful as if being faithful is the only thing you need to do to get a quality woman, where a quality woman is like, well, yeah, I'm faithful too. That's the basics. So
wait, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you. I'm so sorry. But let's stop acting like black men have been a bunch of Prince Charmings running around here, just being faithful and being good guys. Because
no. I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they are. What I'm saying is a lot of those guys. I'm not talking about the trash bags. I'm talking about those guys.
Oh, that's the select few of the black community. Okay.
No, I don't know. No. Listen. If you want to go there, we can go there. Statistically speaking, you're absolutely wrong when you try to attach the worst characteristics to the majority. Statistically speaking, you're wrong because the worst are the least. Statistically speaking, the percentile of men that impregnate the most women and do the least amount of shit are the smallest percent of men.
Yeah,
that is mathematically provable. You can Google this across every platform. It is Googleable. Google it right now. Google the amount of men that's committing crimes.
People disproving that.
Those are the minority. 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 So you can't try to paint men in that vein. What I'm saying is the good guys, the ones that are actually good, they feel some way because, and I'm not saying they're justified. I'm not saying that being a good guy justifies you to get the most quality woman. What I'm saying is they were told that being good is good enough. And women are looking at them saying, yeah, but you short. Yeah, but you ain't got no swag.
And see, to me, that's a very select few of women that act like that. There's
a huge majority of women that like that. But go ahead.
No,
I'm telling you because I date women.
Right.
I'm a woman and I date women,
so I'm telling you this is
a lot of black women have settled. I mean, bent over backwards for black men and receive trash in return for it. I'm tired of others' argument that black men are just so great and black women.
We don't. For one, we don't claim to be great. We don't claim to be great.
And we weren't even talking about race either, so that's not what he said.
I'm not even talking about. I'm just talking about men in general. But define settle.
Girl, you came on here ready to fight. I think you came here ready to argue.
No, I'm cool.
Define settling. Wait.
I've seen women with very good jobs take on a guy that maybe worked at a car wash or something like that. You know, and he was still out there cheating, having different babies by different women. That's what I've seen.
But what that got to do with anything? How much money she made?
Women go to work.
Or he made.
I've seen women go to work every day while the dude lay on the couch trying to be a housemaid or something.
That's still the minority.
But a woman chooses that for herself. If she don't want that, she would not choose that for herself. She has the opportunity to. She can put that.
Hold on, pause. Here's my question. Who's settling? So she settled for the dude that wasn't gonna do shit. Whose fault is that?
I mean, I feel
don't get quiet now. Her.
Wait, you won't let me talk. Well, hold on.
Answer the question.
Both people bear responsibility. Both people bear responsibility.
That's her fault.
Because he needs to get up and work and do what he needs to do as a man. And she shouldn't have accepted a man that wouldn't do anything. Both of them bear responsibility.
How you gonna tell her what she needs to accept?
Sorry, man.
How you gonna tell her what she needs to accept?
Why would somebody do better when they weren't required to?
All the time. So what are you talking about?
Why would he choose to do better if she doesn't require him to do better?
Bang.
Her allowing him to do that in her household is exactly why he does it.
And he should be ashamed as a man to even do it, though. Oh, because she allowed you to do it. That's still weak on the man's part. Just because somebody allowed you to do something.
That is very weak. She enabled him. She enabled him. Period. Point
blank. He's not a child. He's not a kid. Talk about cheating and enabling.
But the thing is, she allows it. So what? That's what she. But if that's what she wants, that's what she wants, and that's what she's getting.
Somebody else accountable for how you allow them to treat you.
No. I would hold him accountable for not being the man that he needs to be, and hold her accountable. It's not just solely on the woman. It's not just solely on the woman. We're not going to just sit here and blame the woman for everything.
Solely on her. No, his life is not solely on her.
That's what I'm saying. And he's not a child. He's not a child. He should feel ashamed as a man to even lay on the couch and not do anything.
He should, but the whole point is
she's allowed it.
You allow. Listen, I made this analogy a while back. If every woman in the United States said this, they said there's a minimum of 3 dates before we give out any coochie to any man. If every woman in the United States said a minimum of 3 dates, you know what every man in the United States would be doing? They'd be going on a minimum of 3 dates. Y'all raise and set the bar. Y'all control the standard by which men will treat you. If you refuse to walk through a door until a man opens the door, a man will open the door. But if you say, well,
it's so funny that you say that, because my lady, she will walk up to the door.
Expectations and definitely boundaries when it comes to men. I agree with that.
And when women lax on those boundaries and men come in and do certain things, it is okay for us to take responsibility of, I allowed that man to treat me that way. Now, that does not absolve that man from how he treated you. It does.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Accountability for the foolishness we allow.
A lot of times. So here's one of the things that a lot of women don't see and a lot of men aren't aware of. When birds of a feather flock together, let's be real. I don't have a single male peer that's a deadbeat dad, right? So I cannot go and check a man for being a deadbeat dad. I can't go check a man for hitting his woman when my peers in my circle, they don't do that. I don't even work with men that can get away. I don't even work with men that can get away with that. Like professionally, I don't. So what happens is these groups, they pair with women that allow it, but they don't have peers that participate in the same thing. When the last time y'all seen a crackhead hanging with a billionaire? Really? Like they don't happen.
Yeah, but you know what though? A billionaire can have a crackhead in his family. Okay, so let's not.
My point is birds of a feather typically flock together. Like there's no denying. Birds of a feather typically, not once in a while. Typically, those groups of people, they're together. So the same deadbeat dudes or the trash dudes you talking about, he got 3 or 4 other trash homeboys that when you kick him out the crib, he's just gonna grab his bag of clothes and go lay with his other homeboy and her baby mama and be with his trash bag of clothes.
Yeah, I don't see why women would allow that in their lives, but some do. And I'm just saying that it is her fault for allowing that to happen, but it's also his fault for being that type of man. He should be a better man.
That's not okay. Let me tell you, because I've been again. I can relate back, because the topic last week was, have you ever had sugar or sugar daddy, sugar baby, or whatever the case may be? And like I said last week, has a woman invited me to take care of me and do shit? Like, yes. Did I put myself in that position to benefit from that? Yes, I did. But after a while, when I was just like, this ain't me, this ain't what I want to do, I was just like, you know what? I gotta shake up out of this. I gotta get back to my home, what I'm used to. And I shook up out of it and got back to what I was used to. But again, I mean, she opened the door for that position. I stepped into that position. It was cool for a little bit, but then you gotta hit reality. Look, after a while, this motherfucker's not gonna be around forever. And so you gotta get back on your 2 feet. It's been nice, chick, and get back to your grind. And that's the same thing with women. Hey, you know, you might meet a guy, he might take care of you for a little while, he may spoil you for a little while. But hell, the thing where I find with women is a woman may say, hey, what, she may not pull herself out of position because, again, entitlement, you feel like you're entitled to that shit. Me, I'm thinking like, hey, when is the next person gonna step in and take my motherfucking place? I need to get on my feet because she ain't gonna be doing this forever. So that's the situation. It's not a situation of I feel bad that I'm allowing myself to take. No, because the only reason I'm here with her right now is because I'm qualified. Period. She would never have looked my way if I wasn't qualified.
Hold on, time out. That key word right there. See, entitlement and qualify, they don't mix. And when we talk about entitlement, we need to move away from entitlement. We need to talk about qualifying. And when a person says they deserve, it's like you just literally just took needles and just stuck them in my ears and just shoved them. I lose. I can't stand it. But if you talk about what you're qualified for, what do you qualify for? Meaning you meet the requisite standards to say that's the job that I want because I'm qualified for it. When the job, the house, the credit, the car, the everything.
Because I have
qualifications themselves has what you deserve kind of built into it. Because when you go to a job and you go negotiate your rate, it's based on what you think you deserve from your qualifications. Right. Now, in the whole realm of entitlement, a lot of what I've seen, it started with, like you said earlier, women didn't have so many choices, so men felt entitled to women in a certain way. It goes no different than the whole conversation we had about when we're in middle school and high school, men touching on your booties. Now you get suspended from school for that because men were entitled to women's bodies. And it's a problem we're trying to break now. That's how the Me Too movement came about and a whole lot of other things. So the entitlement kind of started with men in the patriarchal sense. Because women have more opportunities, they're raising their qualification standards based on what traffic they're getting from social media. And boo-boo, that ain't real. At the end of the day, I'm quick to say I deserve a man who can provide me safety. Why do I say that? Is because I know I am a woman who provides safety. I'm a woman who's going to protect my man. I'll tell a dude quick, he's mine. You may be out here fighting, baby, but I'm your armor. I will keep you safe. So I will say what I deserve because I know what I bring to the table. I'm a good damn woman when I want to be.
Yes.
And that's what I think a lot of it is misconstrued because you have a lot of women who don't even have the resume to qualify for these things, talking about what they deserve. Exactly. You can down my resume right now. You can talk to my ex. I got references, baby.
And it's not. And I want to be fair. It's not just women that have that sense of entitlement. Because again, dudes, like guys have been convinced that being a good guy, well, they were convinced. Guys were convinced at one point that being a good guy was good enough. And sorry, bro, like, nah, being a good guy
is not really a qualifier. Because good enough to one ain't good enough for another. You may be good enough to work at McDonald's, but you're not good enough to be the CEO of Xerox.
Right.
So good is still its own thing. You got some women that are fine with the guy that just pays the bills. He may be a truck driver, got a baby in 2 different states and all of this other stuff, but all the bills are paid, so I'm good. No, sis, I don't care about no bills being paid. I got money. I can pay the bills. Do I feel safe in your presence, sir?
Facts.
Can I be emotionally open with you and feel okay? Can I come home and cry to you and you not try to be Mr. Super Stable, whole solve problems and all of this? Just hug me and say it's going to be all right. Can I do those things with you? I don't care about no bills. So,
well, that's where I differ because I care about bills. Like no.
I make more money than the average black man anyway.
And that's cool.
I'm very confident in what's realistic out here. I'm not
and that's cool. Like, I mean,
twice what I make because I know it's not that many of them, and most of them ugly anyway.
Why? Okay, so, I have a question for Leo. Why are bills important to you? You gotta listen to me. You live by. I don't know your situation, but most adults would live by themselves, take care of themselves, and you would only associate with a man that takes care of themselves and provides solely for himself. So why is your bills such a topic?
Bills that we have together. So
You
we're in a
don't have bills together
relationship.
because you're not. I mean, y'all don't have bills together. You're not married, so you don't have bills together.
If we're in a relationship, we're moving in together, and you're going to help me pay bills. Like, you're not going to sit in here and not pay any bills. Like, that's ridiculous to me.
But if we're moving in together, I mean, clearly we just said that we're taking care of both households. So yes, before we move in together, you have your own bills. I have my own bills. So if we're moving in together, I mean, that's without question.
Right, but I feel like when somebody comes into your life, they are supposed to be there to not just take up space. I mean, no, so you're supposed to come in and enhance things, just like I'm supposed to come into your life and enhance things.
Listen to what we're saying. If you're living alone and you're taking care of your stuff and you're taking care of your business all alone, and I'm living alone and I'm taking care of business all alone, and we move in together, that's going to cut expenses for us all. So clearly we're taking care of business. The bills will be paid. Everything will be taken care of. Why is that even a topic of question? Why is that even a question?
Well, I thought that's what y'all were saying. I thought she was saying that when she come home, she just need to be held. He don't have to pay no bills because she got the bills.
No. I mean, no.
And I was just saying I differ there because you would have to pay some bills. That's
kind of a given. If we have a shared household, we have shared responsibilities. I shouldn't even have to have that discussion. We both adults. We both over 40. I shouldn't even have to talk about that. No, I don't expect him to cover the entire house while I just stack all my money and do whatever I do with it. So no, I'm not looking for a man to take care of me in a financial sense. Because like I said, I know for a fact I make money than your average dude anyway. And I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna stop my shine because he makes less money than me. We gonna build him up too. But I need more than just you coming in paying some bills. And that's what a lot of men think. Well, I'm just gonna give her some money, I'm gonna give her some dick, and that's gonna be enough. No, boo-boo.
Wait. Y'all need more than that?
Child, dick is a dime a dozen. Y'all out here throwing it around like community.
Wait. Y'all, we said
really
money.
Easy to get.
We said
getting
money.
Penis is like shopping at McDonald's.
We said money.
The fries are always hot.
Wait, we said money and dick. That's not enough?
No.
Shit.
No, it's not. Because that's the bare minimum. That's literally the bare minimum.
Damn.
You're an adult. You're doing the bare minimum at your house. Why are you gonna come to my house and do the bare minimum? What I need you here for?
It's the truth. I can't even complain when she's telling the truth,
I
man.
Complain shit. All I want to do is just give money and pay.
I pay all my own bills.
And emojis.
I can go buy me a rose and a toy. Do I really need you for them two things?
Facts, though. I agree with him.
Look, dick, lies, money, and emojis. That's all y'all need. Anything beyond that, y'all asking for.
Okay, yes, he's trolling right now. Because he knows that's not true.
It goes so much deeper than that. For me, the number one thing a man needs to bring to the table for me is emotional intelligence. Period, point blank. And that's something most Black men do not have.
That's something a lot of
the very first book I read in my life was called Emotional Intelligence. That's something good that you said, because the very first book I ever read in my life was called Emotional Intelligence. Yeah. But the thing is you're 100% true. Like, again, I take care of my household. I wouldn't even talk to a woman who did not take care of her household, did not support herself. You wouldn't even see my scope. Like, if you didn't, I'm literally just gonna fuck you and leave you. Period. But
we got to be fair though when we talk about the lack of emotional intelligence in men. And I'm not making excuses, but for so many generations, stoicism was the number one thing. Like, you don't show it, you don't project emotion, because you had to be aware that if the world sees emotion on your sleeve, that's a weakness, and they can challenge and exploit that.
I gotta
recognize that.
Now we're learning that.
Y'all want we need y'all to come healed too.
That's true. Period. I agree with her 100%, man. Let me tell you, I learned early on, you can get open up so many doors by tapping in on people's emotions. Let it come to jobs, let it come to relationships, let it come to family, let it come to strangers, whatever. If you can tap into somebody's emotions, you can pretty much have the world at your hands. And I've been doing that for ages.
It reminds me of this book, The Art of Seduction. I mean,
it kind of that's another good book by Robert Greene.
The main reason men need to understand emotions so we can get the draws. Like, let's be clear about it. There's
not
no
necessarily
other reason. Yeah, for what? What's the other reason?
To live in peace. To live in peace.
Listen, what makes you?
That's not gonna bring me peace. I'm gonna get the draws, and then I'm gonna send your ass home. But now, if you want to have a relationship with me, we gonna have to emotionally live in peace. I'm gonna have to understand how she moves, how she thinks, what ticks her off, and she gonna have to understand the same for me. And she gonna have to understand and respect my boundaries as I respect hers. Period.
And I feel like some people, like right now, the world that we live in, as far as like with the internet being involved, people can just swipe right now. Like a relationship is really at your fingertips. So nobody is really taking the time to understand each other. Because you can say one thing wrong or something somebody don't like, and they can be like, you know what? Okay, I don't want you no more. Let me just go in my bedroom and swipe right real quick. You know, we don't
right. Damn right. You got to
get to know each other anymore.
You damn right.
We have a very disposable mindset when it comes to each other as individuals these days that we
the microwave.
Like, yeah, there is no doubt about that. Lauren, what you doing over there, girl? You folding laundry? What you doing? We need.
She home making ice.
I know. Oh, that.
I know. Look at this, just shining and doing laundry.
Yeah. See, don't fall for it, fellas. She trapping. She don't really do laundry. She don't cook. She don't do none of that shit. She trying
to research trap doing laundry in front of us.
Homeboy sitting at the crib right now looking at a basket of laundry. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, she folding and talking at the same time. Let me see what she's talking about.
I didn't even know y'all could see me.
Yeah, what you doing?
Damn, we should have said towels over there. I'm gonna send you my laundry.
I didn't even know y'all could see me. I was like, where am I on the stream?
You on here? We got you. But yeah, we were just talking about entitlement and the problem that has been causing. However, we do have another subject matter to jump into. Listen, man, I'm all for people making changes. Listen, I don't believe nobody should stay. You can't stay stagnant. You know what I'm saying? The only way you're not going to change is if you've reached a state of perfection like me. So the rest of y'all change, I don't. However, we finna go ahead and bring somebody in who has made some necessary changes to their life. And I just want to see what y'all think about it. Hold on, let me see if this is the right one. I got to make sure we get the right video.
She's taking them butt shots out to get a white man.
Oh God!
Oh my God! Why she got to do that? She taking them butt to get somebody like myself, because I would not condone none of that.
Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Let's get on.
I'm about to go to Vegas. Yep. The reversals keep coming from Blac Chyna.
I'm still on my healing journey.
On Sunday, the model, who now goes by her birth name, Angela White, shared the process of getting this demonic tattoo removed from her hip.
Y'all know that I have this Baphomet tattoo, right? It got to come off, you know what I mean? I'm not about to have no mark of the beast, anything like that.
In the caption, Blac Chyna explains Baphomet's link to the occult and Satan, claiming the deity's goal is to create and spread chaos, abuse, and torment his victims.
When I first got the tattoo, that is not what it meant to me. You know what I mean? And regardless of what it is, I just don't want anything negative or demonic on my body anymore.
In the clip, the reality star packs up the car for her drive to Las Vegas with the help of her kiddos, 6-year-old Dream, her daughter with her ex Rob Kardashian, and 10-year-old King Cairo, her son with another ex, Tyga.
So this is going to be a great experience.
And speaking of her exes, Blac Chyna's also getting rid of ink that links her to them, lasering off this Stevenson tattoo. It's Tyga's legal last name. Plus, this J-Tat, a tribute to her ex-boyfriend, YBN Almighty J.
Whether if you want to have an unwanted name, something like that, do a few sessions, right?
Chyna shows off the removal process up close and personal, and let's just say, ouch. In the captions of her posts, Chyna wrote that she is releasing all negative energy that is holding her back, adding, "Thank you, God, for saving me."
And in the name of the Holy Ghost.
Last week, Chyna revealed that she was baptized and reborn in May.
I'm doing good. I'm just feeling blessed right now.
And ever since, she's been on a journey of finding herself.
I'm actually on my way to go get these fillers dissolved from my cheeks and from my jawline.
Most recently, Chyna dissolved the fillers in her face, documenting the whole thing on Instagram.
I'm just tired of, first of all, I'm tired of the look, and it's just not flattering. It's just not what I look like. It like totally changed my face. And I'm ready to get back to Angela. Like Blac Chyna, like Blac Chyna's Blac Chyna, you know what I mean? And I feel like I've outgrown that. Yeah. And it's just time for like a change. And I just wanna be good.
I don't see the problem.
Who got a problem with it?
Her mama.
Her mama?
Oh, her mama real greasy about her.
I'm now I gotta play mama's clip, but first I just want to get around the panel. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it, man. I mean, I don't know how genuine or disingenuous it is, but she's reversing a trend that everybody has been, that she's been maligned about for the last several years. So why, I mean, is it too late to switch it up? Is it too late to take corrective
Never too
action?
late. Never too late.
She needs to do that reversal. I just question the motive, you know, like, why are you doing it suddenly? Oh, you don't like the look now. Oh, I don't want to look too ethnic. Take these lips out. Just make me no. I wonder if she's doing it to pander to another race of men. However,
why is it that's a pander to another race of men?
Because that's what they're doing. Kim Kardashian is doing it. I mean, I think she's calling.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't like women with no BBLs. I don't even like women that wear weaves. I don't like women that wear makeup.
I'm not making it a personal thing, but a lot of black men do like those BBLs and stuff like that. Like they do.
We'll accept it. We don't like it. We'll accept it.
She's not the only woman that has done this. Cardi B is a married woman, and her husband liked her anyway she was, and she's done it as well. A lot of women are realizing the health implications that come with these things, and as they get older, they have to keep this stuff up. These BBLs and all of this stuff isn't something that you can just set it and forget it. You know, it's life changing. It's no different than somebody who goes out and have a gastric bypass. You literally change your body for the rest of your life. And there's maintenance involved in that. And I think a lot of women don't think about that maintenance part. So
okay, and then in 6 months, when she's with a white guy, let's pull this back up and we gonna stream again.
I mean, does it matter? That's her life.
No.
She already had Robert Kardashian.
No, listen. I'm lightweight joking, okay? But I do question her motive behind it. I like why she's doing it, but yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, she does need to reverse it. It does not look good to me at all.
I think if nothing else, I mean, we can say, like, the one positive I definitely seeing is, what about the young people that are going to be influenced by it? I'm pretty sure it's a lot of young ladies that are going to be like, you know what, damn, you know, because they're so easily influenced by these influencers these days. I mean, this could be something that shifts the mind of a young lady that was just thinking about going to get a surgery. And remember, Blac Chyna got this done if I'm correct, like when she was like 20, 19, 20, when she first started
Oh,
getting
yes, she was one
surgeries.
of the pioneers for
Yeah,
the
like,
BBL.
that was the scary part about it. That's all I remember. I remember the Rob Kardashian thing. I remember the breakup, but I also remember everybody talking about like she was so young when she started getting these surgeries. But she does have a detractor, and I want to play her detractor. Frank, did you have something you wanted to get in on this before I play the detractor? Her mom, who just has a issue with this.
Her mom.
I think her mom is just jealous of her.
Absolutely, that woman is.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that it's not for us to speculate whether there's a motive or not. I mean, what motive? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would she gain from this that she doesn't already have? You know what I'm saying? And then second, I want to say, I applaud her in maturing enough to realize that she wanted to make a change for herself. And then on top, the cherry on it is she accepts Christ. That's to me, that's something that's always applaudable. You know what I'm saying? So whether that's real or not, that's between her and God. It's not for us to judge. Just my immediate reaction to that is, hey, that's sister in Christ now. Can't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but a lot of things should be done in private too. That's why I'm talking about a motives, because a lot of times when these celebrities go live and they, show us what they're doing, it's for a reason. They have a reason to do it. It's not.
I do. Oh man, you just kind of.
Some of it is testimonial too.
Could be. I see both.
Especially with her being kind of the pioneer.
I think it can be both. Why can't it be both?
Go ahead, Lauren. Go ahead, give us some of that. Break that down.
I was just saying, like, why can't it be both? First of all, that video on loop is very distracting.
What video? Somebody got a video on loop?
I keep seeing the Blac Chyna video up here.
Oh, it's not playing.
I don't see it.
Yeah, it's playing on a loop. So what I'm gonna say is that number one, it always like 19 years old. So he's like 34 now.
Yeah.
So people have the right to grow and change. You know what I'm saying? And when she did it, she was just starting out in the industry. She was trying to make her money, all that stuff. Maybe she's just realizing now, like, that wasn't the move, and taking it out before she gets sick, like what happened to K. Michelle, and then it happened to somebody else, because it can give you all that injecting stuff in your body can give you lupus and stuff like that, right?
Right.
So, she's taking the fillers out of her jaws or whatever, and it's not a BBL that she had. It's actually because a BBL is your own body.
Yeah, she had the silicone injections.
Exactly, yeah. She had silicone injections in her butt. I think that there could be another motive, but that's not saying that it's solely for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's an entertainer, so of course you're going to capitalize on it. Yeah. Now I know for a fact, like, she's doing her whole rebrand thing. Like, while she's taking this out, like, that's all content, and that's all. It's still, she's on her PR rounds right now. She's doing interviews with everybody about this change. So she's definitely, that's definitely included in her business, no doubt about that. But that doesn't mean that the change is not sincere. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, the good thing is that she's taking it out, though. At the end of the day, so you know what I mean. That's a good thing.
So a lot of people are asking, well, what does her mom?
Yeah, and I don't think that she's trying to appeal to white men or anything like that, because all that stuff that she had in, white women do that. Like when you go turn on like the Housewives of Orange County and Jersey and all that stuff, that's what they do.
No, I was lightly joking about that though.
Let's see what Mama Blac Chyna name. What's her mama? Her mama has a funny name too. I don't know what her mom's name is.
I don't know. I just know she's
Tokyo something.
What did you say? Tokyo Tony? What?
Yeah, hot mess.
Are these motherfuckers anime characters or something? Come on.
Because I believe a few months ago, her mother was like really upset and crying. I remember there was a video that went viral on the Shade Room of her mother crying and upset by how Chyna was dressed, you know, during the Grammy Awards.
I swear to God, she would sacrifice me for more. What is she doing at the Grammys? For what? You ain't did shit. I can't complete nothing with a weak ass nigga. I'm not going for it because she mad, shorty. I am God's child, not Chyna. Chyna is a PR stunt. Come on, bitch. We know better. I don't give a fuck. She'll never talk to me in life, child. I raised her, had her, taught her. She know everything. She know everything. This bitch is faking. In Jesus' name, stop her. Right now. Put her on her back for playing with you, Lord. Take her name out the Lamb's Book of Life. If she playing with you, Lord, in Jesus' name, you're not gonna.
What the hell?
Mama gonna wish death. Yeah, she's wish death on Chyna.
Child, her mama
Frank face say it all. Come on, give us something. His face say it all.
Man.
What did we just witness?
Like your child? Like for real, man. I don't care if me and my child are at odds. I would never, behind closed doors or publicly, disparage them like that.
Right.
Like what is your aim? You know what I'm saying? Like,
she's
and
her
daughter. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and I could not imagine doing that to her. You know, and a lot of times there is jealousy among mother to daughter. You know, and it's really disgusting. That a mother, somebody you birthed into this world, that you wouldn't want the best for. And so to me, it sounds like Chyna's mom is upset because Chyna reached a height that she couldn't reach.
Right.
And then
go ahead.
To invoke Jesus' name while you cursing somebody, like your seed.
You see what happened to Derek Jackson's wife.
Girl, I was just saying, come on, Derek Jackson's wife now.
Let them lay her flat on her.
Man, to curse people.
She talking about
Derek Jackson name.
Playing with the Lord.
That is very sad to see, man. I wasn't expecting that when I saw it. But I'm thinking, like I said, if you think she's genuine or not, the simple fact, what she's doing, it is improving. It is a better move for herself physically, I'm pretty sure mentally and emotionally, and she says so spiritually. So even as a parent, if you don't believe it, if you think they're fronting, let them front. I'm not going to go tell the world. I'm not going to just go tell the world what she told. Like, no. I think we can all stand on the moral high ground here and just say, nah, this ain't what we finna do. This not.
I wonder how old Tokyo Tony is.
You know,
40s.
Goddamn name.
Okay, so with my mom is in her 50s, right? And even when she was in her 40s, my mom didn't wear her. She dressed a certain way because she was my mother. You can tell that TKO, whatever her name is, Tokyo, is throwing herself into competition with her daughter just by the way she appears, like the way she dresses. She still wants to be young. She still thinks she's 30 something or 20 something. You know? How old is she?
51.
But that's
51.
and that's
See, that's crazy.
You know what? And you say that, but that's one of the things that a lot of people talk about these days is mothers and grandmothers don't appear to be mothers and grandmothers. It's like the distinction. You used to be able to make a distinction between the two.
Yeah.
Where nowadays they want to be this. Don't y'all think we sisters? People say we sisters. Look at us. They think we twins. Like, oh, you want like, get out the way. Get out.
But that's not the same thing, though. That's not the same thing.
It's not. But I think it bleeds into another because some people. I bet you big money I can go find a picture of Blac Chyna and her mother sitting there, and Tokyo or Tokyo Tony is saying that. See, we on the same level. We twins. I bet you I can find it.
I know you can, but the reason I say it's not the same thing, like me and my little sister's 23. I am old enough to be her mother. Mm-hmm. But everybody, when we're out, they're like, oh, you must be older sister. You what, 27, 28? And I be like, look, girl, look up. But we don't function in that same way where I'm competing with her. This is why when she calls me, I'm still big sister, the 40-something-year-old that lived a little bit of life. So it's up to the older person to cut where things lie. Like, I'm not going to go club with my sister.
Right.
They on a different level. I can't even drink with them children. I be on the couch somewhere sleep. And she knows that boundary. But even with our mom, who my mom is 62, my mom be like, well, why y'all don't call me to come hang out with y'all? Because you're our mother.
Yeah, my mom wouldn't like I'm not trying to brag, but I come from a very long line of very beautiful women, right? So when I'm out with my mom, they assume, and my mom is good in her 50s, right? And they be like, oh, are y'all sisters? And my mom slick gets offended. She's like, no, this is my child. So
wait, but back up. See, your mother then is not the example of what I'm talking about. See, there are those. So there are a minority though. Yeah, and that's probably a minority. But there are those who, oh my God, they say we are like sisters, girl. You gotta make sure you call me when we go so we can turn up together. Turn up. Hey, they gonna be hanging out the Honda in the summertime. Like hey, mama and sister. Hey.
Oh wow. I would never. And I have a 14-year-old daughter. When I drop her off when I was growing up, my mom, they used to be like, oh, your mama look good. I mean, swarm in my car. And it's funny because I find myself in that same position with my daughter. Like, she don't even like me to go into her school. She's like, mama, no, just stay in the car, you know. And I do. I'll stay in the car because I want her to know, like, this ain't no competition. I am not your friend. I am your mother. Okay.
Absolutely, and that's the way I know that's the way that energy.
It's up to the older person to set the boundaries and the younger person to keep it.
Absolutely,
but
it's funny.
Whatever her face, Shalana Hunter. That's her real name.
Shalonda Hunter.
With her, I don't know. It's like she latched on to Blac Chyna's fame and used that to come up.
I agree.
Now she done hit the wall. If we want to talk about it, and now she look like the wall hit her.
But you know what? I know some
her daughter is outgrowing that premise that she set for her. Like, you got to be out here and do this, that, and the third. Her daughter's like, no, I don't. So it's like the student is outgrowing the teacher, and the teacher mad.
When because she said something, why was she at the Grammys when she ain't done nothing, she don't do nothing, this, that, and the third. One thing that I've noticed,
Lord have mercy.
Of course, but
I bet you she could have went to the Grammy, she would have been right there, front and center.
And that's where I'm going, and that's where I'm going with it. One thing that we've noticed in the last, because if you were born, so I would say, I think the 80s generation, sorry, 90s babies, I don't mean to run down on y'all, 2000 babies, y'all definitely don't qualify for what I'm about to say. But the 80s era and around that era, shortly thereafter, to get any sort of fame, you actually had to be talented at something. You had to be able to dance, be able to sing, be able to act, be able to write, be able to produce, be able to play a sport, be a politician, be charismatic, be something, and it had to project and it had to stand out in a room full of other talented people that would qualify you as on their level. At some point, it wasn't the Kardashians. It was actually that damn Paris Hilton. It was Paris Hilton was the first time I looked up and was like, why is this person here? What did they do? All of them. So what's happened is the parents of that era have children that are these influencers that ain't did shit, and they're looking at them and they feel some way, but they also want to latch on to it a little bit because it's you can monetize that shit. You know what I'm saying? You can monetize essentially being talentless, and your parents sitting there like, well, I want some too. And I think Tokyo Tony wants some of the goddamn Blac Chyna money because because if every time Blac Chyna does something, Tokyo Tony reacts to it. It's instant gold. It's instant. And she knows this. Right. She knows this. And it's sad. It's sad to see that.
She latches on to and what's that other lady name who about crazy?
Now let me be clear. Now let me be clear something. Let me be clear about something. My children, Morgan, Michelle, Corey. Morgan's on TikTok, and every now and then her little cute self gets something going. The moment you pop, I'm reacting to something. I'm gonna leech. I'm gonna grift. I'm gonna all of it. I'm gonna Tokyo Tony my way all up and down your coattail. Here you talking about Morgan?
And ain't nobody paying for reels no more.
I ain't gonna. Yeah. Watch. I'm gonna be side by side reacting to something. Watch. Y'all
but I bet you won't be over there like, look at what she did. See, that's Tokyo Tony's problem. Man, she over there hating. It's okay to ride the coattail, but why you got to drag her down with you? You know, like why are you dragging your daughter with you? It's really not a good look, and it perpetuates a stereotype that they like to say about us too. That's
I think the reason why she's lashing out like that is like she looked like she feel herself drowning, and so she's clawing at the surface. She's clawing at the surface of the river, and that clawing is her lashing out because she knows that if Blac Chyna or Angela, she knows that if she switches lanes and stop entertaining, then the money gonna slow up. So eventually she's gonna begin to starve. You know, so I think she's angry because she knows that there's an end coming, and she sees it, and so now it's like, how can you do this to me? You making this change for yourself, but you're doing it to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
that's what it looks like to me.
You know what, bro?
It may propel her career. It just may propel her career. You know,
her, but if Tony is not aligned with it, it won't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'll propel Angela. I'm gonna use the right name.
Yeah.
You know, my boy used the right name. I'm gonna use the right name. Look at that man influencing this man right here. He used her right name. I'm gonna use the right name. You ain't Blac Chyna no more. You Angela White. Goddamn it! I'm gonna give you the name your mama gave you. Matter of fact. But you're right. Like, if this change is positive momentum and her mother is not on board with it, at a certain point, people are gonna stop paying attention to her mama altogether.
I don't think so. I think people are addicted to toxic. Look how long Love and Hip Hop was able to last. Like I don't want to say all Black people, but a lot do they like toxic drama. Love and Hip Hop New York. So as long as she keep hating and making a fool of herself, people are gonna tune in. It's the moment Tokyo Tony be like, you know what? I love my daughter. I don't want no more beef.
They would tune out.
Right,
You're absolutely right.
But people want to be like, drag her, hate her. Oh, she wrong for that. You know?
Because I don't remember everybody talking about Krishan when Krishan was out there trying to be an athlete.
Right.
I saw those photos of that girl. I just saw those photos of her when she was an athlete, and I was looking. I'm gonna tell you,
she competed on that show, that ninja show, one of them little shows or whatever, and won. And it's like, oh my God, she was world class.
Man,
no airtime.
Frank, I tell you, as a father, you do not want to see the video, the pictures of what she used to look like before them tattoos and that missing.
I saw it.
And bro, oh man, bro, it broke my heart, bro. I was just like, yo, like
that's
like a completely different person.
I wanted to see. I would have wanted her to see could compete in the Olympics because I mean she was world class.
Yeah.
Like
that was tough for me to see.
And here you is with this slew foot fool that can't rap.
And the black woman's image means everything to me. I mean, it really does because I am a black woman, right?
I can tell. We can tell shit. We can tell. If we didn't know nothing, look. If we didn't know shit, boy, we found out today, boy.
Anyways, I didn't even go as hard as, but. So I would like to see better representation of us. Like I do not support the blue faces and the Christian rocks just because of it's disgusting, you know?
You know what? I would say this then. More women need to actively talk about Savannah James. Miss LeBron James is just sitting back, just in her with her legs crossed, sitting back, just raising gorgeous children. You don't never hear nothing negative. You don't see nothing negative. I mean, she's a beautiful woman. She's tall. She's black. She's bright. I mean, everything that every guy is talking about, they want. And even men. I would urge men. Men need to start shouting her out more. Start looking at those that represent. Start looking at those that represent.
Manuel, do you think men shouted her out? Men are actually in relationship with women like that. Like I have a woman, my woman is like that. I don't but the thing is, I'm never gonna bring my woman up to the masses like that. I try to hide her from y'all from shit like this.
Why? Here's the problem now.
Go ahead.
Remember who we talked about before the Savannah James came along. Who was that woman that represented that?
Claire Huxtable.
No, that was real. I'm talking about that was real.
Aisha Curry.
Aisha Curry? Oh, hell no.
Hell no. We never said
Y'all trying to know better Pinkett Smith for a long time.
Aisha was loud. She was trying to prove something. Savannah James don't talk. She just looked at,
and that's what I'm saying. Y'all felt the same way about Jada.
No, we never felt that about Jada. We felt like that about Aisha Curry. Aisha Curry, then she went off at the mouth and said some dumb shit.
I'm talking about even pre-Aisha Curry. Because
Jada, wait. You know what? Hold on, wait. You're right.
I mean, you're
right. Hold on. I'm gonna give you something. You're right. Because when Will and Jada first jumped off, you're absolutely right. The world was like, man, I want to get. Jada was in all the bars. All the rappers was rapping about a Jada, getting something like a Jada. Now, you cannot be rapping talking about no Jada unless you talking about
Jada. Was the woman.
Yeah, you absolutely
every man wanted their woman to be like.
Man, I'm knocking on wood.
I heard more talk about their union, the strength of their union, and what it appeared to be. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear Jada being singled out as the that woman. It was more so the Smiths more than Jada.
Oh, well, I could also say that Gabrielle Union, like before Zaza and all this type of shit, Gabrielle Union was that chick. There's no way in hell Gabrielle Union can make it into my circle now.
What's wrong with
it's crazy.
Women
what's wrong with
was all shining about.
What's wrong with it?
It's like,
what's wrong with Gabrielle
Union? That's why I say
she's supporting ridiculousness
on such a pedestal because you never know.
What's wrong with Gabrielle Union? I'm not understanding.
Just the fact that she support that ridiculousness is ridiculous.
Yeah, they say
it's just the support.
Dwayne.
What does she support?
It looked more
my God, I ain't gonna get into that, but
it looked like exploit.
They think she's the reason his daughter is the way she is.
No, I'm trying to set Remy up because
I'm gonna say it for you, Remy. It looks more like exploit than support.
Bang. Period. My thing is this: children. Look, I don't care what you say. Look, okay. For instance, this may be totally off topic. My ex had a kid. This kid only ate chicken for 5 years, and then she was just like, "Yeah, my daughter only eat chicken. My daughter only eat chicken. Man, get that motherfucker some rice or get that some broccoli. What the hell wrong with you? She ain't got no damn choice. What the fuck? What do you mean she only eat chicken? Yo, what? So anyway, we gave her. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. It was a 5-year-old. I'm so sorry. But get a baby some dang on vegetables. This kid cannot make decisions. He cannot have an opinion. And she can look. You make all the opinions for this person until they're 15 or 18. A child does not have an opinion. The thing is, Gabrielle Union is setting this child up because this is not her child, and she making this kid look like a fool. She ain't doing this damn thing to that the new baby.
So okay, I'm gonna completely disagree with all of that.
Yeah,
okay. One, children are not our property.
Right.
Children are our property. If you have a baby,
they're not.
And they have opinions.
They have no choice. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Let me finish. If you be quiet, I'll tell you what I mean.
Okay.
Let's hear this.
Children have opinions. They have thoughts. They have reason. They have emotions. It is up to us as parents to decide which of those emotions we're going to let blossom.
Right.
But as a child, you don't even know your choices. You don't even know what your choices. Go ahead.
That doesn't negate that they don't have thoughts about their own lives.
Right.
So as parents to decipher, okay, here's something we're going to explore. Here's something we're not.
Yeah. I totally agree with that.
That have gender-based issues and things of this relationship. It's not something that is in a book that can tell you how to do it. You just kind of have to feel for what's best for your kid and what you feel is going to be most inventive for that child to be to feel safe in who they are and to explore what you're allowing them to explore. Now, if that's my house, I probably wouldn't let certain things blossom in certain ways. That doesn't mean I'm going to detract that child from telling them, well, you can't be that. So much as it's going to be like, well, I don't think this may be the safe route for you right now, but if you still feel this way, let's continue to explore that. Let's look at therapy. Let's look at other things. The way chose to do what they chose to do with their kid. And a lot of parents, if they had chosen that route, probably would still be speaking to the children that they haven't spoken to in 15 years. Because a lot of kids just simply don't feel heard. And a lot of them will make certain choices to do certain things because they don't feel heard.
Right,
so I would always support a parent who is trying to hear their child.
Right.
It may not necessarily be what's right in that moment, what everybody else feels is right in that moment, but they know their kids don't.
Right.
I'm gonna marry these two ideas. Let me marry these two ideas. That's what I do. I like to marry shit, right? So men, we have this very dictator. Most men, we're dictators, and it's funny because dictator, right? Okay, but in our brains, it's like rules, regulations, standards, boundaries. Women, y'all get this nuance, this whole little. No, let's hear. No, let's listen. And when you put those two things together, they work. My thing is, I can hear everything you got to say, little Johnny, and you want to be in jail. I can hear that all damn day long. When it comes to facilitating actual change, I ain't gonna do it. Wouldn't have been on my guide. I think what a lot of people feel is that, fine, that's how the child feels. Like he said, kids wants to eat chicken every day of their life. Your ass ain't gonna eat chicken every day of your life. So you're grown enough to allow yourself chicken that you can then say, I'm gonna eat this every day of my life and nothing else. So that's what most parents are looking at. And especially when you do a deep dive and start looking into research and detransitioning and people who transition before puberty and all these people, these cases upon cases of adults right now saying that they wish their parents had made a different decision. They wish their parents had said no. They wish their parents had said, let's just wait. Because the adolescent brain, let's be clear. How many times have we discussed this on this podcast? That pre-25-year-old brain ain't worth a damn. So parents allowing their children to leave where they're transitioning an entire child, it just rubs.
She hasn't transitioned. She just dresses. But there's no surgery to happen or anything.
When you old enough to buy your own clothes, you gonna dress like a man. Until you grown enough, when you grown, you can go dress like a girl.
However,
but as long as you young and under my roof, you dress like a boy. That's where the conversation goes.
And when he get to school, he gonna go in the bathroom, pull that dress out, them earrings, cause kids gonna do.
They gonna do all the same thing we used to do. Just like when we were in school, we started cussing. When we got home, we didn't cuss. As long as you apply the rules under my roof, you good. Don't let nobody record you.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that sort of parenting at all. It's the parents who will take their child to like gender, like the little camps and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's dangerous. That is dangerous. That is dangerous.
And I don't think people should be discussing gender reassignment during puberty at all. Like, no, the body isn't finished yet. Like, no, this can cause so many hormonal issues in the future if you start this stuff too soon. So, like the parents that are allowing their daughters that are transitioning to not ever have their first cycle and things like that, and it's like y'all are screwing with biology in a very
how about this? Me and my wife were talking about this the other day, and she was talking about a detransitioning case. And she said what happens is when those that were born male transition to female, they don't all those hormones, they don't have a sex drive, right?
They don't have what?
They don't have a sex drive. A lot of them don't have any sort of sex drive whatsoever. Well, if they change their mind and detransition, guess what they get back? A sex drive. Guess what they don't have?
I mean, they can get that put back on.
Yeah, no.
They ain't gonna work the same. They ain't gonna work the same.
Nope, it's not.
I know, and that's why I struggle with the people trying to do actual sex changes in teenagers. And it's like, your body isn't finished yet.
Your body ain't built for that.
Right. That's the extreme. Trying to take them to get reassignment surgery, like that's going to the extreme. But I do think that like you do need to acknowledge children are human beings, right? Yes. And you do need to acknowledge their emotions and their feelings. Right. And I believe that's what the other lady, what she's trying to say too. We're going to acknowledge their feelings, because I know people, right, who were treated terrible because they were gay, and then when they became an adult, they were just running amok. And I know one individual who was stricken with HIV because he was so ready to go out there and just explore and do things that his parents didn't tell him to do. Like, so you want to acknowledge your children so they won't make mistakes as adults.
Right.
I go so far as to, I have conversations with my children. I sit them down at the table, and I have all girls that they're with me. My son, he lives with his if he ain't living, with his biological dad and his wife, then he has a roommate in his own place. But so most of the time, majority of the time, I have my daughters, and I let them critique me. So I ask them, is there, what do you need from me? Is there anything that I can do differently? And I allow them to express their thoughts, and I do take into consideration things that they share with me. And if I feel like some adjustments are reasonable, then I do that. To a certain extent, that avenue, it ain't that wide. You know what I'm saying? Because there's still some structure that has to be laid. And there's still some boundaries and instructions that I have to give as a father and as a man. So I can't accommodate everything that you feel
Right.
because you don't know yet. You just know what you want in that moment, but you don't know exactly what you need. So it's my job as a parent to give you what you need. And if that means if what you need conflicts with what you want, then I can't give you what you want. You understand what I'm saying? So me saying no is not being a dictator. It's not being a tyrant. A lot of times me saying no is protecting you from yourself.
And that's why I feel to explain that to your children too. When I was growing up, it wasn't no explanation. No meant no, and you need to get about my mama's face, you know. And that was that with her. But for me, and I didn't understand. Like, dang, she'll never let me do this. So with my daughter, I tell her no if I have to tell her no, and I explain while I'm telling her no, so it won't be no question, so she won't come up with her own conclusion, you know. Because my conclusion was my mom was just been hateful and mean.
Now I want to go back to
that
something.
probably wasn't the case.
You know what, Frank, you had a beautiful word there. You know what it sounded like when you broke all that down, you know, with what they want conflicts with what they need. You know what it sounded like you was dealing with other than just children? You know what it sounded like you was dealing with? Do you know what it sounded like you was dealing with? Can you say what it sounded? Can you say for me?
What it sound like, man?
Can you say it? No, can you say it, or do I need to say it?
Say it. He's a good man.
Sound like you're dealing with a woman.
Women are not children.
Sounds like women.
And that is not true.
Same thing. Yeah, it's exactly the way. Y'all, what y'all want ain't always what y'all need. Y'all need us to tell y'all what y'all need and want for the most.
Y'all don't even know what y'all need and want. So how the hell y'all?
That ain't got nothing to do with it. That ain't nothing to do with it. We ain't talking about us. We talking about y'all. We ain't talking about us. We talking about y'all.
This is why y'all be having wives and side chicks and all that. Talking about you. I need to tell my woman what you want. You don't know what you want, sir.
Listen, it takes y'all.
Sometimes we do got to save y'all from yourselves.
Listen,
and sometimes we have to save y'all from yourselves.
It takes y'all 10 minutes.
Y'all be out here doing dangerous stuff.
We do. Goddamn.
This is why women live with women.
Look. Let me be clear, man. And I made that post, and I was dead serious about it. If you're a wild dude, it's very smart. You the parent with a more responsible woman. It is very smart. You don't need a cosigner. I dated cosigners, and those situations were going bad. Very bad. It was very bad. I mean, there was time I'm like, I might not make it home. I'm just going to enable all my shit. So you gotta know you don't need that. You gotta. The other thing I want to weigh in on. If y'all been paying attention.
Hey, Boel. Hold on quick. It's some static.
That's Diana's mic.
It's my what?
It's your mic.
It is?
That rumbling is coming.
Oh, I don't know.
How she know who it's coming from?
I don't know what to do about that, then, because I'm on my phone.
I said, how she know this?
Yeah. It's the movement of your phone. When your phone is moving, it picks up everything.
Well, so I wanted y'all to tap into something specifically. Did y'all watch? Have y'all seen this fallout behind this LSU championship game and the girls and what America has spun up? Yeah, I'm sure y'all already. So I'm gonna go ahead and what I'm gonna play is I'm gonna play something from it, but it's not some random person on social media's take. I'm gonna play somebody much more recent.
Look at us talking about women's college basketball to start this program, and it's worthy of being discussed.
Dynamite.
What a phenomenal national championship game we saw between Iowa and LSU yesterday. So many terrific players on that floor or sitting on the bench because the referees took over. And I'll tell you what, the refs should thank Angel Reese for giving the old John Cena to Caitlin Clark. You can't see me. I've never seen so many people react to, what Reese did with Clark walking off the floor and LSU dominating Iowa yesterday in the final throes of that game, and we'll discuss why they took such a big lead in the first place. But look, Angel is giving Caitlin Clark something we've seen, out of an LSU national champion before, have we not? Joe Burrow did that. Walking off the field.
Right to it.
Right to his ring finger.
Bam.
Didn't have a problem with that, did we?
Well, actually, she was giving Caitlin back what Caitlin was giving to
Well,
everyone else.
I'm getting to that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, first and foremost,
the ring, yeah.
Joe Burrow did this on a football field. And we're all like, how cool is that?
You know what else
Joe Burrow, Joe Cool. And also, as you pointed out, Angel's only giving Caitlin what she did in a national semifinal game against Haley Van Lith of Louisville. So she's getting back what she gave. And what she also got back is what she gave was a ton of three-pointers just being thrown in by wide-open LSU basketball players yesterday. And that has been the national conversation out of all this, is why is it cool and great for Caitlin Clark to do this? And why is it all cool to see Joe Burrow do it? And then when Angel Reese does it, everybody's thinking that is totally out of line.
Y'all already know.
Of course we know.
Y'all already know, man.
I mean, the comments that I saw calling her monkey and all of this is like, here goes the people. There's no race. We have no race issues in the United States. It's just black people making it up. Okay.
We're just making it up.
Just making it up. But here y'all calling people monkeys for doing a very
you know what? The most disappointing thing about all that was for me was the fact that it overshadowed a basketball game, and everything talked about was that. I mean, even now we're talking about it, but that's kind of the point. The point is it overshadowed a basketball game when somebody won a championship because somebody on one side of the aisle felt like they wanted to say something about somebody being classless, when indeed we have not seen that. And listen, all black people are asking for is fairness in the eyes of the public. If it's good for you, it's got to be good for us. If it's all white, it's all right. But when it's a black person that does it, it seems to get a response. I mean, and this happens in a lot of cases. Now, I want to be fair because I watch more NBA than college and NFL. We do see like NBA basketball players talking that smack. Nobody says nothing. I know Luka talks the most trash in the NBA right now. And nobody says anything to damn, I can't think of the guy's name. But right now, he's the guy that's always calling everybody too small. Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly is always talking shit, and nobody. They kind of more so prop him up for it. So I think it's also two things. One, he's black. That's problematic. Two, girl, not one of the guys. Because the guys, they pound chest, they talk shit all day long, and in the rules of competition, it's valid, right? But girls, man, I'm sorry, competition is competition. And when people get competitive, they get hot. They talk shit, they turn up. Later on, you ask them about it later on when all the adrenaline is calmed down, cool as a cucumber. So I think it's overblown for those two reasons. One, black people.
Man, look, the fact that it's like the audacity of a nigga to publicly embarrass our precious white woman. And we know that in this country, the most valuable thing is a white woman. It's no secret. It's no conspiracy. It's history. And it's present. The most valuable thing in this country is a white woman. Mm-hmm. So for a black person or a black woman who's socially at the bottom of society, embarrassed what's been pedestalized in white America openly and publicly, the audacity of this nigga.
How dare you?
You're way out of line.
If that was LSU and Howard, nobody would have said a word.
Nobody would have gave a damn about LSU in Alabama.
Nothing.
LSU and Alabama had one.
And then, Pelican face Jill Biden talking about she want to invite Iowa to the White House too. Since when do a loser go and meet the damn president? If it was LSU that lost, she wouldn't open her ragged mouth.
Listen, y'all.
The thought wouldn't even cross her mind.
I'm gonna jump off of here, okay? But it was
okay. All right.
Everyone. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was man. That was a very, very embarrassing moment to see, man. Because I don't watch sports for politics. I don't watch sports to see any sort of political divide. It's like that one meritocracy that we actually have. Like, you have to be good to be there. You can't be sorry and be on the national stage. So it's like when these young people get there, let them get there and do what they do. Let them talk shit. I guarantee you, those young girls, they done already FaceTimed each other. They done already DM'd each other. They already like, girl, I can't wait to see you in the pros. Girl, I'm going to get you back. I guarantee you, those young girls, that's the conversation that they have. I bet.
And Caitlin even came out and was like, why are y'all? I mean, I did the same thing. Like, what's the problem?
I would have bet my next 6 months' pay that they having backdoor conversations like, I thought we was better than this. Sorry, young people. Wrong. We ain't.
We're still racist.
Wrong.
But
maybe y'all's children will benefit from a different America.
Maybe,
you know what I'm saying? Maybe, but right
racist.
Now it's that same old shit.
Because your grandmama and them comments calling people monkeys.
Yeah. Act like you've been there before. Really? This is what we doing? This is what and even there was even people. I read one of my buddies' comments. He's from and different people. That girl that the white lady, she actually performed well. Like that, she was giving buckets. And people were saying, hey, she had the better individual performance. So I know people that actually watch sports were watching the sport for sport. They were watching the sport for competition. Mm-hmm. And then you get people that come back, and it's now one of those things where this other sidebar conversation, of course, we know anything race related is more incendiary. It's going to get projected louder. It's going to get heard more. We know that. So when it happens and it overshadows something like that, man, it's disappointing. It's a reminder, but it's just disappointing. So I'm disappointed.
She did individually, because I don't watch basketball, but I love stats. And she did individually have the better game.
Yeah, she was cooking.
LSU had the better team play.
Right.
So it's like, you looking at the how Jordan used to get all his championships. They played well as a team versus when LeBron is out there, he usually by himself.
Well, when he's losing, he's by himself. Yeah, when he dragging people to them. Yeah, man. But like we notice now, like you have to have a team around you to get anything done, and of course, man, when somebody brags, somebody's gonna brag the other way. That's just like, oh man, let me tell you, if I'm on a winning team and I get 1 point, 1 rebound, 1 block, 1 steal, and 5 turnovers. If I'm on the losing team, I'm gonna be quiet. If I'm on the winning team, I'm gonna be talking shit just like the love.
I could be on the bench the whole time. We whooped y'all ass. Period.
Period. I'm doing this the whole time too.
I still got a ring from the bench. I could be the water boy. He was calling.
Carry towels.
What? Shoot, I could be doing the laundry. I'm washing uniforms. We won this. Period. Yeah. We. You ain't playing. I support the team. We.
Absolutely. Hell, I mean, we do that right now. We do that right now.
I'm a Georgia fan, so you know I'm with it.
Look, we do it right now with all our teams. Every time my team wins, I say we. And I'm sure my wife be like, y'all don't get paid. You ain't
positive energy into the
listen,
universe.
I'm like, no. You stay in there with that. Don't bring that in here. Yeah, don't bring that in there. But yeah, absolutely. So that was pretty disappointing to see it fall out like that. I wasn't expecting that. I was disappointed in that because again, when I go to my sports and check things out, I'm hoping to hear about the sports, about the games, and then see a damn parade. And then see some good memes, some crying memes, and some celebrating memes. That's what I'm always hoping for. I am not hoping for a national discussion about race relations and all this other stuff.
And it's always the ones that say, why you got to bring race into it?
Like y'all started it?
Wait a minute. Like, damn, if I just respond to what's obvious, you're not gonna address the elephant in the room, but you're gonna try to spin another narrative and make me the bad guy because I acknowledge the elephant in the room.
Of course,
you know what it's about.
Racial entitlement. That's racial entitlement. When you're the big dog, when you're the top of the totem pole, you think you get to say whatever you want to say, and because you're at the top, there should be no repercussions for it.
Yeah,
and that's why it's always, well, I don't like cancel culture, even though you the ones who started it. So it's like, well, I'm at the top. I shouldn't get any repercussions to say what I want to say. You know,
that's
I'm
privilege, and that's privilege.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's privilege. You know, white privilege exists, and I love those that I appreciate white people that acknowledge that it exists. Those of you that don't, y'all just witnessed it on full display all around the country with that exact situation. Like that is a clear example.
It was different.
It's a clear example of it. I was definitely, like I said, in any case where we're talking about competition, all I want to see is competition. I don't want to see all the other nonsense y'all talk.
Agreed.
That's all we got. Those are the topics. I don't know if y'all had anything else. Yeah, man. I don't know if y'all listen.
Huh? What was the other one? Will the battle? What was that one that you got at the top up here?
Oh,
it's the third one. It says will the BATT something, and then I don't see.
Man, shit. Well, damn, man. People don't. So it's a good question. When will the battle between the sexes end? Man, listen.
Oh, that's a good question.
It's getting exhausting, man. Listen, I'm telling you, man, it's getting exhausting. The battle between the sexes is getting very exhausting. Like my Facebook timeline, I'm just like, come on, and I don't even want to. It's like, man, I have opinions on both sides. I have a perspective, but it's exhausting, man. It's exhausting. You can't not address it. Go ahead.
The ones who's doing all the ones who are doing all the fussing, they're talking about each other on both sides. and that's the part that's crazy to me is that they can't see it. It's like y'all talking about each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all got all these complaints about each other, but then y'all say y'all don't like each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're complaining about the ones you don't like. So what you complaining for? You don't like them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the confusing and frustrating part to me. It's like I don't like crab legs. I don't like seafood other than salmon. So I'm not about to go to Papa Do's and complain about crab legs.
They don't even sell crab legs there, do they?
He wouldn't know. He would not know. That's the point.
The only reason I go is for my wife because she loves seafood. So if I go, I'm gonna get the chicken. Whatever land animal the seafood restaurant sell, that's what I'm picking. I'm not gonna go in there sitting there like, sorry, y'all niggas got seafood. Of course.
It's a seafood restaurant.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like y'all complaining about the men who whatever the flavor of the week for the complaint is, and the niggas complaining about the women that use men for money or whatever. But you say you don't like them. Why are they even on your radar? You know what I'm saying? Why are you ringing the alarm?
My only thought is that the ones they complain about are the ones that they constantly attract. They can't. That has to be
that. It's even deeper than that. Those are actually the ones they want. But because that's the only way they would be on your radar. Like, I don't complain about dudes that don't like heavier chicks. I'm a heavier chick. I ain't got no shortage of dudes checking for me. So why am I worrying about the dudes that ain't? But because it's the women who feel some type of way about the dudes that don't want them, because they actually want them, now you got to talk about them. And it's like, find your lane and stay in it. Like, it's not hard.
That's absolutely what it has to be. And I'm saying it about all of y'all. I'm saying about all y'all in the manosphere. I'm saying about your passport bros. I'm talking about the women on the other side of the conversation. Those of you that are complaining about those, you must want to convert them into liking you. Because there's no reason. There's nothing else makes sense. Because just nothing else makes sense. Nothing else possibly makes
sense. The other piece of it is self-esteem. When you deem yourself unworthy of certain things, you, instead of looking at the things that, well, maybe I'm tripping, which you probably are, because everybody has some redeeming qualities.
Right.
Or even if you're typically unattractive or you bad shaped, you can fix these things without surgery, mind you. You can fix these things by dressing a certain way, doing your hair a certain way. These things can be fixable. If that is your premise of you have low self-esteem about yourself, you look at the people who also think of those things about you. So if your weight is an issue for you, then the people who have an issue with your weight are the people you're mad at. It's a whole issue of people not just being, and somebody just said in the chat, being honest with themselves about who they are, what they bring to the table, and how they can navigate that into relationships. Instead of being like, okay, I'm a niche type of individual. I'm going to attract a niche type of person. Let me feel around into this. But if you're not globally accepted, it's a problem that you got to complain about everybody and everything. And it's like, just find your lane. Just get in your lane. It's real simple. The dudes that's out here complaining about women taking them for money and stuff. So you ain't got no money. Why are you worried about this? But that same guy would like to have money, so he could worry about it. So it's literally people who are looking at the things that they wish they had for themselves, and they're angry with the people who don't accept them when they don't have this stuff. So it's just a lot of it's just a lot of people just being dishonest with their options. You have options, but everybody isn't your option. And you should be okay with that. And it's literally okay to be regular. It's completely fine to be natural.
Lauren, we're talking about when will the battle of the sexes end? Like it's becoming this thing. Like I thought it would have been over by now. And one of the points. Go ahead. I thought it would have been. I'm not gonna say I thought it would have been over, but I would think at this point that it's not as heavy as, and it's still heavy. It's still very heavy.
Yeah, it is. The thing about it is too, you have to keep in mind that a lot of people are making money off of this. So it needs to continue for people to get their coins. It's funny that we talk about this because I was just watching a video by Ken Brisbane yesterday. I don't know if y'all heard of him, but and he was talking about like why all of these podcasts and these people who have social media platforms posting his videos about, like the modern woman this, the modern woman that, right? And finding like the most extreme like stuff that women do and say or whatever. And he was saying basically the modern woman is God. Because and this is just from his video, right? I'm not saying that there's not that going on the women's side, but what he was saying is that the modern woman is God, because without the modern woman, a lot of people wouldn't have platforms. So he was saying like, y'all dudes that do this, y'all act like y'all don't like the modern woman. Y'all act like y'all want these women to change. Y'all want them to be a certain way, blah, blah, blah. But if they did, you wouldn't have nothing else to talk about. You wouldn't have a platform. You wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? There'd be no Fresh and Fit. There'd be no
none of it
out there.
None of it. None of it.
Yeah.
None of it. It's go ahead, finish. I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, man, as a struggling YouTuber, I'm telling you now, it is because I can't talk about it. I can't, because I've said what I've had to say. So how many more? Like, I am not a human, and I'm not saying I'm above you guys that feel like it's your life mission or it's the bag, whichever one it is. If it's the money and you're like, this is gonna make money, so I'm gonna keep going, or if you genuinely have a life's mission to go at this modern women thing, that's fine. But damn, there is not a single new point for any of you motherfuckers to make. None. There's nothing new you're bringing. There's not a single new point. There's not a single new perspective. There's not a new angle. There's not a new nothing.
The closest thing to the newest I've seen was some dude was like, well, if the problem is the world, if the problem is the people that's coming out of single mom households, it means the single moms are the problem, and we need to wrangle all the women up together and control them and lead them, because clearly they can't manage a household. That's the only thing I've heard new. That's extreme.
I'm sorry, that's not new.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I've heard the one where all the single moms need to roommate together, and so you have two parents in the household instead of.
Now I've heard that. Yes.
Yeah, I've heard,
and that actually works.
What? Hold on. What did old boy say in Iron Man 2? He when Robert Downey was trying to heal himself, he said, "I've tried every permutation and every combination of every known element." And then what's Nick Fury said? "I'm here to tell you, you haven't." So one of you dudes, please come with the new thought, the new thought in that arena, because I'm sure. Because I know there can't be. I know there can't be. The few people that I actually even listen to that talk about that, they're not even affiliated with the manosphere space. They're totally far removed, and they are clinically, or they're educated in social sciences and relationships, and they're discussing things from, they're discussing the same things, but they're educated in it, and they're talking about ways to fix it on an individual basis. So one of the people I speak to is listen to is Susan Venker. And she's literally a relationship counselor, a relationship coach. And what she does is she talks about these issues, but one of her main things is actually dealing with people who are struggling with that culture in their actual relationships. So if a man is married to a modern woman and he's trying to get her on his page because she helps that. And if the woman is married to a feminized man, she's trying to get that fixed. So she's doing work. So I can listen to that. But you dudes, I'm like, y'all not saying nothing new. And so I'm just wondering, when is it going to stop? And like Lauren said, it's money driven. It's not. It's the money, too much money in it. So we gotta do a segment every week. I gotta find a way to do a segment.
Dry up soon though, because you gotta realize a lot of these platforms are no longer pandering to these non-talented audiences anymore. That's the whole reason behind no longer paying for reels with Facebook and Instagram, is because they realize they have propped up the lack of talent to the point where you have people just regurgitating somebody else's content and going viral. And it's like, y'all paying for this? Like, really? So the platforms themselves are going to cause a correction. I'm gonna be quiet. It's not going to be as drastic as we need it to be, but it'll cause a correction with some of these folks. Will it get rid of all of them? Absolutely not, because some of them have too large of a following for it to actually detract from them.
Let me tell you again, man.
It won't happen as much.
Let me tell you, as a struggling part-timer in this little thing, I know the work. I know the work that goes into my 90-second clips. Some of my 60 and 90-second clips. I know the work that goes in. Mm-hmm. And I've seen stuff that is literally a person sitting there in a video with another person right there talking. They just laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
yeah. And then the people that be getting like millions of views.
I'm like, is that it? And look, man, I'm not gonna hate, but and then we know also a very attractive woman, all she gotta do is sit there and
look clean
with a titty down.
And boom, listen, like you said, the algorithm, the platform, the techie right here just spoke, so y'all better be ready. She said that these platforms, they finna force correction. They gonna say, a lot of y'all getting the bag and y'all ain't doing shit. We need more. We need better.
And that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna go back to a lot of where you have to kind of apply to these programs, these platforms, to be considered viable enough to be chosen.
Because with YouTube, you have to apply.
For reals, though. That's only for reals. And the reason why is because, like you said, I think is because a lot of people were stealing a lot of people content.
Yeah.
Now there's one thing to you can remix it and stuff like that and add your own thing to it, but people was literally stealing other people's content. That's totally different. That's for real. That's totally different from having a YouTube channel where you do 2 and 3 hour videos every night, and you have this following, and you are keeping people on YouTube. YouTube not gonna cut that off. Neither is
no. That's not what I was talking about. Yeah. And your following is already significant. You probably in there, but what this will stop is from, just like when Kevin Samuels died, all of this pop up of these people came out of nowhere, and suddenly they're popular. It's gonna stop a lot of that. Because what's happening is, and this is from the advertiser side, because of course, all social media platforms, the customer is the advertisers. Advertisers are realizing, because y'all are parroting so much content, I'm paying all of this money to advertise and I'm getting views, but the people I need to get these to see my ads aren't seeing it because your content and your algorithms are shit. So these companies are having to course correct because they're losing ad revenue by the millions. And I know this because Google done lost a ton of money because of this very problem with YouTube, to the point where now you can even go in and list what YouTube channels you don't want your ads to appear on. We used to didn't have that option.
Oh, wow.
So all of these platforms, they're course correcting. And a lot of these influencers are going to be pushed out because they lack actual viable
talent.
content.
No,
yes.
They lack actual talent. There's no creativity, and
yes.
So their audience is not basically who the advertiser's audience.
Absolutely.
Right.
So when all these platforms,
so they're paying money for nothing. Okay, I got
Because last year I know I spent like 120 grand in ads with Google, and I might have gotten one customer out of $120,000.
Wow.
Because of this issue, my ads were being put on the right channels, but the people who watch those channels weren't the audience.
Right.
So, and these advertisers are like, no, I'm not about to keep spending all this money with you because of this. So this is why these companies are course correcting. It's not because of the content creators. It's because of the customers. So a lot of people are going to get pushed out because the only thing TikTok did was redux Vine. All they did was take the whole Vine platform and add a way to monetize it. But what does TikTok do that a lot of people don't know? TikTok decides who goes viral and who doesn't.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
it's not driven.
It's not driven by algorithm. Yeah, that's changed.
They will go in and handpick who they want to go viral.
Oh wow, I never knew that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's let me I will say, me and Frank, we've talked about this offline, just with some of the stuff I've done, and I've seen some of my stuff, do, again, for a small timer, it's moved some stuff, but I'll put it side by side with something that I find entertaining. I'm super critical of myself, so I will put it side by side. I will send something to people that I know are critics, like people that ain't gonna listen. Listen, let me tell you, man, my homeboys, my peers, my family, and my friends, they not gonna let no bullshit slide. If it's whack, it's whack. If I bust a freestyle right now and it's whack, Frank gonna tell me don't do that no more. Don't do that no more. That's the way we are. And so when I put different things side by side, and I'm like, man, and I know it's a combination of things. It's not just the talent, it's also the algorithm, it's also the following. There's a lot of things, but then I look and see what people do pass off and what they get away with. I'm just like, man, that's crazy. But a change always comes. Eventually, the nonsense gets shut down.
Yeah, the whole battle between the sexes in its current state, I think, is reaching critical mass. Because you have a lot of people who they started in this battle when they were in their late 20s. Now we 40.
Y'all still single.
Keep going with this? Like,
wait. Oh, wait. No, here's the biggest problem. All y'all that started in this battle 8 years ago and y'all still single, explain that.
Pretty much.
Explain it. I need to see weddings. I need to see all you Battle of the Sexes content creators. I need to see y'all getting married. I want y'all, because after 5 years, if she's sitting over there with her husband, I'm like, damn, all right. If after 5 years he's sitting over there on a panel with his wife, all right, you know what I'm saying? Or we see some wedding photos, celebrate. All right, that's what's up. I can't wait to get on so I can run my wife ads on my channel. I can't wait to get on and slap that little booger right there in them commercials here and there, these little breaks. Can't wait. But you can't sit there and talk all that relationship shit for years and years and years, and you know how to do what, and you've been doing this for 8 years, and you still single, bro? Like, come on, bro, make it make sense. Show me. I want you to show me now, bro. You've been talking. I need you to show me.
All right, let's see. When I joined Ringside, I was single. Then I ended up a baby mama, and then I ended up a wife. And now I'm divorced, and I'm gonna be a baby mama again. So it is what it is.
Not gonna be a baby. You know what?
Yes. So I would say hopefully the battle of the sexes has reached critical mass. In that, I would tell people on the dating side of it, more of y'all need to go outside. More of y'all need to go outside. More because everything I'm reading, everything that I've studied on the topic, especially when it comes to these dating apps, if you don't know how to use the dating apps, because using a dating app isn't as simple as just getting on, putting your picture, swiping. There, you gotta actually go and like it's work to beat them algorithms, man. There was one guy, and he broke this down, and maybe on another segment we'll get him and I'll use his video. But when he broke down, because he coaches men on how to be successful using Tinder, and there was a few different things he brought into it. He said, okay, Tinder is built. He said, let's just be honest. It's built to keep people on there. Like you said, Chef, it's built to just keep people on there. He said, but then he said, so what does it do? It caters to the person that spends money. But on top of that, and who's going to spend the most money? The men. So if you're a man and you're spending money, it's catering to that. Then if you're a man and you look good, it caters to that, because women naturally, they're choosing 80 to 20. It's 80 women for every 20 men. Women are swiping right more than they're swiping left because they get to choose the best looking version. And then of the best looking, the ones that pay get pushed up in the algorithm, right? So you're fighting against that. But the guy said, here's what's interesting. The guys that will get swiped left on all day, nobody or right, whichever direction, they're not getting chose on Tinder. Those guys can go out to a bar, strike up a conversation, and get more face time than a better looking guy who's on YouTube. On Tinder. He said reason being is because, you don't have the face for Tinder. You can't take the right pictures for Tinder. You might not be able to thumb the right thing, but at a bar, you struck up a conversation and you got an opportunity, and some woman looked past your big head and your funny look because you were funny in person. So he just said, why don't y'all go outside? Like, stop listening to the internet and what it's saying about men and women dynamics. Stop getting frustrated on the apps. If you don't want to take the coaching for the app, just go outside. Maybe that will cure the battle of the sexes, because I keep hearing people say, I don't interact with men like that. I don't interact with women like that.
I be at the house in peace with my wine and my TV.
Swiping right and getting mad and going on Facebook and arguing. That's what they're doing.
That part.
Prince Charming ain't gonna just slide in your DMs all the time, boo-boo. That ain't how it works.
No, somebody's husband gonna slide in your DMs. That's what's sliding in people's DMs these days.
You really got to position yourself. You know what I'm saying? You really got to position yourself, and nothing beats old school, traditional, face-to-face, verbal interaction. You can't get around it. It's like you can't speed past it. And I think a lot of people try to speed past face-to-face interaction because it's so easy to type a couple of words and then you agree on a day to meet up, and then boom. You know what I'm saying? She right there in your lap, or he right there in your lap. So
they got personalities, man.
Huh?
They don't have personalities. That's why they can't strike up a conversation. I mean, I think I posted that Kevin Samuels video where the dude was complaining about women in the mall, and Kevin was like, well, how many times have you tried to strike up a conversation with a woman in the mall? Well, they always went with dudes. How many times? Well, never. I mean, what you expecting? If you don't try.
The mall was our training ground. Yeah, me and this nigga right here, we used to go on mall tours. So if I had a car at the time and he had one, I go pick him up on a Saturday. We start early afternoon and we mall hop. If he had a car
one lap around the mall, that mall too dry. You can't burn up too much time. You can't burn up too much time because you got, because the best case scenario is you pull something and they want to do something at night. Worst case scenario, at least you get a number. But time is of the essence. So you go to this mall and it's whack. You got to hurry up getting the whip, go down another mall. All right, we got to go to this other one. This mall dead. This mall dead. That's the way. That's what. And of course, somebody gonna be like, these old timers, these boomers, and generation whatever we are. They're gonna always rail against that because that's not the world they live in. But I'm just saying, change your world just a little bit. But maybe do women respond? You know what I'm saying? Like the women, I don't know if women respond to that today, but I'm going to assume that at least the age demographic that we are in, and maybe slightly under. So I would say anywhere from 30 and up. And let's not act like the 30 and ups ain't part of this conversation, because we probably leading the conversation. There's anybody that's 30 and up. If the right man approaches you publicly, is that going to be a problem?
No.
Not for me.
That could be. I doubt it. And my son is 22, and he has a YouTube channel, and I get to see him in live action. And I'm a proud father. I say that.
that video he did again. He made a video. He did a video on can I pull a girl with an outfit from Walmart?
Yeah.
And he got shot down a few times. Pow, pow. But he kept shooting. Eventually, it was all turning in his favor after a minute. Him in that Walmart outfit. And then while he's getting the Walmart outfit together, he's having women help him put the outfit together and trying to pull them at the same time. I was like, this boy, he just going for it.
I couldn't be proud of
classes.
I couldn't be proud of. The boy was getting content and numbers at the same time. So I'm just like, so it's like the cold approach is undefeated.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is that
a lot of men these days are, I don't know when this happened, but they act like they are deathly afraid of rejection. Like, men ain't used to be like that.
Okay.
It's like if a woman tell you no, you gonna die. And I mean, like, this across the board. So cause I online dated too. And so it's like you give a man your number and you know, you can call me, and they want to text you like, can you talk? Well, I said you could call me. Well, I just wanted to make sure that you're available. If I'm not available, I'm not going to answer the phone, and you can leave a message and I will call you back. Like, is it like, I don't know, you scared if you call and I don't pick up the phone? See, these all these like red pill and all that, they done made everything mean something. So it's like if you call a woman and she don't pick up, now I guess it's like you down a point or something. Like she playing games. I'm not sitting by the phone.
Bathroom, sir. Give me a second. Jesus.
I'm saying they made everything.
No, mean I wash my hands.
Yeah, and it's like they mess if you don't. Some dudes, like, you don't message back right away, they come back with some shade like they a chick. They like, oh well, I get, like, they just come back with some
I guess you with that. I guess you with that new, huh? I guess you laid up. I guess you laid up.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I guess you ain't interested. If you ain't interested, you could just say that, sir. Like, you messaged me an hour ago, but I'm not in the app all the time. Like, WTF? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's so crazy. So I mean, like, I don't know.
So, you know, so here's what I think, and here's what I know. This is not what I think. This is what I know, because I know everything. I'm not even playing, right? when you dig, I'm telling you, I went down this. So the rabbit hole I went down when me and this dude got on and talked about the incels, and those incels came and trolled us for a couple of hours, man. Something told me, I said, you know what? We laughed, we joked, me and him did, and I said, let me just go dig a little deeper, man, because I don't know what I don't know. And as I got deep and I started researching and reading, and it went to the red pill. Then I found out it was a black pill that was worse than the red pill. Then there's the incels and then MGTOW and all these other things. And what it really boiled down to is rejection that men weren't prepared for as boys. They didn't learn this shit when they were young. I don't know. Listen, if you good guys were so busy in your books, getting an education, making the grades, going to class on time, doing everything the right way, and you decided at that time that I wasn't going to talk to girls, either A, because they're distracting, or B, because my parents are going to whoop me, or I can't go on a date. Whatever your reason was, they didn't like you, your nose was too big, you had glasses on, whatever your reason was for not getting in the game as a teenager and staying in it and going through that gauntlet. There was a gauntlet that you had to go to. I'm not joking. Go home, Roger. That was this guy. Go on. Get out of my face. Go on. Just getting shot down left, right. Wow. And I get right back up. Her loss. Shit. You know what I'm saying? It's her, not me. And on to the next one. I'm telling you, when you get shot, but you learn, you take the rejection and you just realize she just not checking for me. She's just not checking for you. It don't hurt. It's just you just keep, but we don't know, like these guys, do they come from loving mothers? Do they have loving fathers? Do they have people pouring into them and building them? Do they have brothers that also tell them, hey man, you cool, just do this, just like what they come from something, like they're missing so much down from the source, down from the soil. So I blame their mamas, I blame their daddies, I blame their uncles, brothers, cousins.
Usually be dudes that have mommy issues.
They got all kind of issues, and I'm telling you, they weren't groomed and taught from a very young age, and so they don't know how to navigate this. They don't know how to navigate rejection. So, like she's saying, when you don't text them right back, they don't sit there and think something arrogant like I would think. You can text me right back. I'm like, ooh, what I say just got her shook. Look at her, boy. She over there thinking, boy. She chewing on what I sent her. She fell asleep. That's what she did. And the next morning, I got at a loss for words. See, my brain was telling me that I'm doing better than everything else, right? These dudes don't have none of that arrogance. What do we call it? That irrational confidence. They don't have that. Just a little dab of irrational confidence right here goes a long way, brother.
But I was thinking about this earlier though. Here's my thing, because I was really ruminating on this earlier. Okay. So, but there are dudes, there are like grown ass men, like in our age group, who are like this. This same age group was not like that years ago. They were not. Like a dude used to walk up to you and be like, hey, what's your name? Like,
no, I'm saying that guy. So those guys, we married now.
They married.
We married.
No, they're divorced now.
They're divorced.
I'm divorced.
That too. But we're not, those ain't the one. It's the one that we would be like, hey man, go holler at Shouty.
No, she ain't gonna like me. No.
As she's saying, it's the dudes that used to be the guy back in the day who now are like, well, I ain't wasting my time. And it's like, sir, go heal. Please go heal. Please.
So you're saying you're saying it's guys that used to be the guy that would jump out there?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't believe that. I don't believe if you used to be that dude that you scared to even jump out there now. I don't believe that.
But these are the men who drive the manosphere.
No, the guys who drive the manosphere ain't the dudes who was pulling anything. And I'm telling you now, they wasn't pulling shit.
I'm telling you, a lot of these
dudes, bro. As a man
have joined in because
as a man that's looking in the eyes of men, yes, those are the grifters. So the guys leading the manosphere that look good and got a whole bunch of like they charisma and they can talk, they're the voices. They don't believe that. They dare to get the money. I'm talking about the ones who are the fans, the ones who are building it up, the ones who really feel rejected and have felt rejected. I can look in their eyes. I can look in the eyes of them dudes and tell them,
I'll give you a prime example. The place
I'm gonna have to agree with Manuel on this one. Even the ones who look like they suave and all of that, they had a glow up.
There you go, and they mad.
They had a glow up. They was not that dude back in the day. I'm gonna have to agree with you, Manuel, because even as a woman, I can look at a man and tell, even when he still got those insecurities there. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't like, you know how they be doing. I wouldn't bash a man for that. I feel like that's embarrassing enough to know on the inside. But
and that part's
you
fair.
can tell.
I'm talking about these divorcee dudes that have literally turned into the most woman-hating thing you've ever seen.
Okay.
This is what happened in Ringside. Ringside was very balanced on the battle of sexes for a long time.
Ringside.
It was a Facebook group me and my met in. Like,
that's the group I was talking about.
Okay. Forever ago. And that's what happened. It was very balanced. A lot of married people in the group. It was still singles. A lot of people met in that group and got married. But then
when I came in that group,
certain people got divorced. That sucker turned into like, what the hell is this? All y'all hurt behind men. I need y'all to know.
Okay.
She saw that nigga dry.
You know what? Because when I joined Ringside, Frank, I'll tell you when I joined Ringside. I joined Ringside right around the time me and Toya were separated, and so I went through my separation, divorce, changed a couple of states, bachelor, dated, remarried. The whole time I'm in there, I ain't never complained. I kept telling all them dudes in there they were lame and bitter. The whole time.
And it just got progressively worse. And they got behind dudes. What's that other group still around? Something?
Yeah, it's still around.
Yeah, Ringside's still around.
Yeah,
I'm getting in.
But when when certain people who were kind of like power users of the group got divorced, that's when it took a turn to now it's just a whole bunch of hurt dudes in there. Like I was like, I can't do this because y'all can't even be reasoned with.
So I think.
Well, why did they get divorced? Because I know for a fact that some of them co-ed groups with married folks in it, they was in everybody's invite.
It wasn't that for certain people though. It is for a couple of folks. It wasn't anything like that. It was just literally it didn't work out. And
I think sometimes when you go through a divorce, I think you need to be. You definitely need to. There needs to be some counseling. There needs some therapy, and you kind of want to sit back. You need to sit back for a while because I remember as soon as me and my ex got separated, I was like, you know what? I ain't never getting married again. Hell no, I'm good.
I know I ain't.
And then once I sat back for a little while, and you get to reflect on where things get wrong, what you did wrong, what you learned, all this stuff. So you're like, okay, marriage ain't the thing. That was us. That was the couple. That was the two people in it. That was me. That was her. You know, we could have done better. And so you come. What I think happens is some people don't take that moment to fall back. But when they open their phone, you open this little thing right here. And when you open it and you see somebody vent and complain or make a post, it drives something emotional and you respond. And before you know it, you trauma bonding with a bunch of dudes on a post about how these it's these women. And then,
yeah.
And then a woman says something, and it's like, yeah, see, these are the ones we talking about right here, and they going in, and then 5 years later, they still in the group railing against women, and it just is, and then they don't want to follow no inboxes because the Me Too movement has happened, and along the way, they done seen some lames get blasted, and then they done seen dudes get screenshotted for saying "Good morning, beautiful" too many times. It's a combination of and honestly, I think another thing is when men have been married for a long time, not all men are ready and eager to jump out here and be bachelors. I can tell you now, there are men that if they go through a divorce, they might want the relationship again, but they don't want to go through what it is that a man might have to go through in the dating game to get back to the marriage. They just want to go back to being married because that's where they were most comfortable. And that was taken away from them. Yeah, so they don't want to. They don't even want to navigate that.
A lot of divorced dudes, like most divorced men that I have dated or gone on dates with, yeah, like they want to be married again.
Quick.
Yeah, like they, you know,
they used to a wife. They
like
want a wife again.
Yeah, that's what they're accustomed to.
Yeah. I know. I was doing comfortable in it, which is why I was able to move on so fast because after my first wife passed, when I met my wife now, it was that familiarity with being with someone. You know what I'm saying? Like it was comfortable and I was in my element. And on top of that, I was always a relationship guy. It's like being single wasn't a problem, but I've always known that ain't what I want. I didn't care about the bachelor life. I didn't care about running through women because my desire was to have one woman that I could build with. You know what I'm saying? So when I made my transition, it was easy for me because I wasn't out of my element. You understand? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
No, I was like, you froze. But and then I lost my point.
No, when you, like you said, you were in your element in that, and so I get how men don't want to get back into that dating world. They don't want to get back into gotta go meet somebody, gotta go find the right place to meet somebody, gotta go get a number, gotta go on a date, gotta plan a date her, then okay, that don't work, date her. Oh man, I hear what they're saying about these women these days. Do women even have the right mindset? I think men just don't even want to figure it out. And so
that was my point. That's what I was trying to get at. Like I can relate to that. I can relate to that because and even one of my friends, female friends, said she knew that I wasn't going to be single long. You know, so it's like I wasn't interested in the chase. You know what I'm saying? So even though I thought that I wasn't, initially I was like, I don't want to get married again because I didn't, I realized the possibility of going through losing somebody again, getting close to somebody and that person, gone. So that was a fear I had. But when I met my wife, it was like, that I enjoyed her presence and her company so much that fear just dissolved. And I just knew that I didn't want to lose what I have with her. And I knew that I wanted to continue to build what we had. So I was just like, damn, fear. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm willing to God forbid I will ever have to experience that again. But it was like, if I have to, then so be it, so long as
she's worth it.
I'm able to enjoy, being with her the time that we are together. So that's what was important to me. So I can definitely understand a man that goes through a divorce or even losing somebody, feeling like I don't want to go through the motions.
Yeah.
Again, I just want to be in that element of being comfortable having someone next to me.
Right.
So it makes complete sense to me.
Because
there's a lot of work, and there's a lot of work starting over.
It is.
It's a ton of work. And being that I'm in that right now, like in my divorce, I gave my husband everything. He didn't have to buy me out of nothing. I gave him everything. So I had to completely start over from scratch. And the thought of dating, period.
It's like so far. That's one of them things that you like, man, leave me alone for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, for real, it's like I have my moments where I want to have sex, but I'm like, ugh, he got to touch me, ugh, to even do that. So it's like I have dudes checking for me, and you know, even in my current state of being pregnant, and it's like, no, ew, like, ugh.
Nigga got a fetish.
But I mean, it was dudes that was checking for me before, so it's like, you know, it ain't no shortage of dudes out here trying to be stepdaddies. Let's just be serious. They may tell their homies that, but whatever. But at the end of it, it's just like I put so much of myself into my marriage that I felt like I lost who I was. And the relationship I ended up having while I was separated kind of fed into me still being able to navigate being in a relationship, but still being able to be who I am. So when even that ended, I was just hurt. Like, maybe I'm just not supposed to be happy. And that's kind of how I feel about relationships in general. Not that I would take that into another relationship and expecting something, some man to do some things that I've never, you know, expected before. But it's just really me sitting back, looking at all of my relationships across my entire life and looking at what went wrong. What did I do wrong in these relationships? Not to say that the relationship ending was my fault, so much as it was, what was my part in what happened?
Right.
And in evaluating my part in what happened, each time it was just like, you loved them so hard, but they didn't love you the same way, or they didn't pour back into you the way you poured into them. So that makes me scared to be in relationships, period. Because I know me, if I love you, oh, sir, I will pull the moon out of the sky for you. And a lot of men aren't emotionally intelligent enough to handle a woman that is that giving. So they end up taking, and never giving back anything. So she ends up just hurt. It's the whole post, like you made it the other day, Manuel, about healers have to date protectors. I'm a healing type of woman. And I ain't never dated a protector. So I just be out here healing folks and walking away broken every time. So that for me, that's why I'm like, I don't want none of that. Because I have to keep putting myself back together. And that shit is stressful. Because I have,
you know what?
It's not just me. I got kids. So I got to be together for my children. And it's hard when you got to keep gluing yourself back together, and every time you're missing pieces. I can't do it anymore. I can't. I don't know why. I just can't, for me.
I think so it's funny when you say that, because speaking about that, you know, healers have to date protectors. It's like you got to be able to see that this woman's going to, I mean, and it's not even just a woman thing. Men are that way too. You know, I always felt my dad was that way. But you got to have people around you that's going to jump in front of the leeches and say, nah, we can't allow you to come over here. It's like you need security. Say, nah, we ain't taking no photos right now. No, they ain't giving out they're not giving out no autographs. Because they know, okay, it's too much. This person is tired, they burn out, exhausted, they can't do no more. Nah, they stay over there.
Let me interject real quick. In addition to that, you got to be able to receive that security.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I think that when you are that type, that nurturer and that healing, you're drawn to people who are sick. And when someone is trying to protect you from giving too much of yourself, you gotta receive that, like, okay, I'm gonna pull back. Yeah, I'm drawn to this, but I'm gonna stand behind my shield, because if I sidestep them, then I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be exhausted. I'm gonna be exhausted. You know what I'm saying? By this person. So even when you feel the urge to operate in your element, you got to listen to that protector. When he or she say, "Hey man, you need to fall back. You done did enough."
I've just never
Absolutely.
had a protector. I've literally You people I had to heal my whole damn life.
Man, I remember with my ex, you know, I used to tell my ex, "Hey, all right, man, how much what's our benevolent offering? What's the benevolent offering? What's the benevolent fund? We're gonna set a fund. We're gonna set a dollar amount. That dollar amount right there is what you can give away. I don't care what's in that. Whatever you put in that bank account, if it's $35, if it's $3,500, you can get that away. Everything else, you can't go bless the whole world. And then when you turn around and you need something, you know, but it's that's not just your financial bank account. That's your emotional bank account. That's your mental bank account. That's all that shit. When that person called, hey, I was trying to reach such and such, but they didn't pick up the phone. Could you tell them to give me a call back? Yeah. Nah, can't give you a call back. Days later, I'll be like, oh man, such and such called you the other day. She was probably gonna complain and talk my ear off. Well, I'm glad I missed that conversation. Yeah, we're the bouncer at the door to club wife. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't get in. You can't get in.
Wish.
I'm good. Listen,
I would get fussed at for cutting family members off.
See, look, when you look, see, you got to get one of these men that have taken a lot of rejection. See, when we've taken so much rejection, we good at rejecting. I'm good as hell. You know what happens every time I walk into the store and the cable people, I don't care what cell phone service you sell, what cable you sell, what nothing. As soon as I walk in, I give them one famous line. They see me, I look at them, and they're like, "Sir, what service do you have?" "Yours." And I just keep it moving. They're like, "All right, dumbass." I'm lying like a mother. Hell on. I was that years ago. I got yours. Look, I just taught all y'all how to lie. Now y'all, I just protected the whole squad. Look at that right now. Now every time y'all go to the store, hey man, you got something? I got it, man. I signed up, man. Best service ever. Hey, boy. Lying like a motherfucker, boy.
But
yeah, man.
It's definitely challenging, especially when one of the people that hurt you was one of the people that kind of protected you too.
Yeah,
that's what makes it even more challenging because it's like you were my piece.
You had one job.
Yeah, you had one job. Like, and I don't know. For me, I know everybody around me. You gonna marry again, and then my auntie, you and him gonna get back together. And I'm like, no, that was 19 years on and off, and nothing changed until the 19th year. I think I've had enough.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody like, well, y'all were just meant. No, I think I'm okay. And that's how I feel about relationships generally now. It's like, I think I'm all right. I've done enough. I've seen enough, been through enough. I think I'm gonna go get me a couple cats when my kids are grown. And get me some little community college thing to come clean my pipes every now and again and go about my business.
So I think I can understand, you know, having those relationship experiences that drain you, having dating experiences that drain you, but I do kind of understand the dudes that, like Lauren just said, you know, everything is rejection. She said, like, this red pill community must got a rule for everything. Like, if she ain't answer the phone on the first ring, that means this. If she ain't respond to that DM after 8 p.m. on the first hello, that means this. Like, I'm pretty sure these dudes are sitting around in a circle coming up with all these rules to their new game of Uno. Like, no, it ain't that complicated. Like, stop trying to come up with rules to the game, bro. It's much more simple than that. I mean, and you're right.
They're asking themselves out before they even start.
Right.
Yeah. That's the insecurity. That's the insecurity from rejection, man. Like they never learn how to process rejection. And if you never jumped out there, like Moel said, if you never, like he always say, if you never started at an early age, then you haven't been conditioned. You know, I hate cardio. I work out, I lift, I hate the treadmill. So I'm not finna jump on the cross country team and try to run that. So when because I never conditioned for it. So if a nigga never conditioned and prepared for rejection, then he ain't gonna know how to receive. He's not gonna know how to receive it first, because his first instinct is to reject rejection. You know, because it hurts. Man, when did I get numb to rejection? Hell, when
once you take so many shots and you start peeling the Band-Aids off and peeling them scars, it's like you get a whole flesh. You get shot down so many times, you get a whole new flesh that's numb to getting shot down.
Just all right. There go another one.
Yeah, jump on her.
There go another one. It's like it's always another one.
You fat anyway.
Yep. No, you don't.
You never did that. It just my thing was, I mean, hey, there go another one. Or sometimes like, man, hey, she obviously a lesbian.
Yeah, her loss. You make up something in your head to convince yourself that she lost. You don't say nothing crazy. You don't be disrespectful. If you really, and I'm talking about if you've really been rejected, if you really got the cold shoulder to the point where you know she's not interested, or you've been told directly that I'm not interested, you don't take that to heart. You just move on to the next.
There's always a next one. Like,
dude, see what happens is dudes like, fall in love. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, I just laughing at what Lauren said. They act like it's the end of the world when they get rejected. Like it's the worst thing to happen to them.
They act like they literally gonna die.
It's just like that boggles the mind, man. Like that boggles my mind. Like that's not the only. I think what it is that they put so much hope into this one girl.
Yes, that one
into
target.
This one.
Yes,
but I gotta have this one. Like, nigga, you just spotted her.
Yes. I was just gonna say that. I was just thinking that sometimes, but that's young man stuff. That's what you do when you're in like when you're in the 7th grade and you've been watching her for the first day of school. You saw her and you were like, oh man, that's the one right there. First day of school. And then by week 3 of school, you ain't built it up yet, you know, because she needs to see you got enough outfits to last for the first month, because you don't want to think she's you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? She done seen you go through a month of school, your haircut, she done seen, you know, and you done made your presence felt, and you gonna jump on her. But you done built yourself up over this whole time to make this approach. You learned something about her, you done figured something out, and you figure, I'm gonna jump out there. Best day, I'm gonna catch her coming off the bus one day, I'm gonna get her. And you get your moment. She step off the bus, she by herself, she ain't with no girls. And you step to her, and then bow, shot down. And you feel it, it's in your chest. You just like, you're emotional. And I understand it, you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna take you the rest of the school year to recover. But then the next school year, you look around and you realize, man, I spent the whole school year heartbroken over that one, and I missed out on all them other ones. I ain't never doing that dumb shit no more. Like, that's the way you have to be in the game. But these dudes, no, they said they getting passports, they going overseas, they gonna get white girls, they gonna date everything else but y'all that rejected them, because they tired of y'all rejecting them.
But they act like women ain't never got rejection either. You know how many girls used to pass, little notes to each other, get somebody to tell somebody else to tell him. They act like girls ain't never got rejected either. But you don't see women out here talk about, oh, these dudes that back then didn't want me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's crazy. They do that. Like, it's dudes I went to high school with that rejected me in high school, saying I was a fat girl. I'm a good 60 pounds more than I was in high school, maybe more. and now I'm fine. I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Keep that same energy, sir.
But then, so here's my other issue though. When I say they act like we didn't get rejected, because the conversation is always around, oh, it's, y'all didn't want us when we was blah 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 blah. You're on the internet having this conversation, and you're talking to people on the internet, and you're talking about women in general. Like, you're just talking about, I guess, beautiful women in general. So you are equating, you're not even talking about the specific women you went to high school with. Okay, you're talking about the type of chick that you went after in high school. You now see that same type of chick now, and you're like, oh, I'm not messing with them because they didn't want us, and you don't even know these women. Because some of these women that you're looking at, that you think, oh, she wouldn't have wanted me in high school, that's probably the ones that you passed over in high school, and she didn't have a glow up, is what I'm saying. So it's because the conversation is like a general conversation. It's not like pointed
There's
at
no nuance. There's no nuance to the conversation. There's no
it's a archetype, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see women that represent the girls that you liked in high school. You do not know these women. They didn't do you nothing. and my thing is that if you're so butthurt about the girls that didn't want you in high school that you wanted, and you're looking at the women now, the grown women now, who represent that girl, instead of going passport bro or whatever, why don't you go and find the women that represent the chicks that you passed over in high school, the ones that did want you?
Because they never wanted them women. That's why. It goes back to the whole premise we were talking earlier about people complaining about the people that rejected them. They actually want those people. That's why they complain about them, because they want the people that rejected them.
Yeah,
and I thoroughly believe that's what it is. I guess the thing that so the conversations now obviously need more nuance. Of course, they're going to vacillate back and forth between the modern woman and the man, and they're going to stick to that. But what people got to understand is you can't conform people to a personality or a specific type. Because I think what it is, they see a woman that looks away, or they see a man that looks away, and then they want them to be away. And those things aren't always lining up. They see a woman that looks the way they want a woman to look, but then they want her to be the way they want her to be. And those things don't always line up. So you got to consider which one is more important. And for guys who think they're going to go overseas and just do it that way, they're not. Like they're guys. There's a guy who even just mentioned it on one of the posts. He said, "Man, going overseas, you find out, feminism is over there too. Single moms over there too." Like, people forget that the United States exports. Our number one export is not anything physical. It's culture. Oh yeah. Go around the world and start looking at how many things look like it has a drapery of the United States in its major metropolitan areas.
Yep.
It exports culture. So when you think you're going to escape it, no, you got to learn to navigate it. And you got to learn to find those that fit your mold and stop worrying about those who don't. Because I'm telling you, I guarantee you, the women that those guys want that fit the mold, they hear y'all complaining about those and they turned off by that shit. Yeah, I mean, he got a point.
Yep.
Crybaby, he was cute before he opened his mouth complaining about old girl sitting right there. Let's go. Like,
That part.
Like I can't. I mean, you know, we used to call them. I ain't pretty much bitch made men. I can't stand it. Like all that complaining.
Yeah,
I thought men were problem solvers. Like go solve the problem.
That's what we do. Well, that's what I do. That's what I do. That's what he does. I mean, you know
So
what I'm saying?
You spending all this time complaining. I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. You could be fine, have money, all of that, but all that no, I'm good.
Yeah, I definitely think that we're going to fix the best conversation. We're gonna fix the war of the sexes. How about that? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. We gonna fix it. We're gonna heal all y'all. We're gonna get y'all all right. Y'all
we have enough reasonable conversation between the sexes that make sense on both sides to actually do something. And I think there's some podcasters out there that are coming to that because they're realizing, okay, yeah, this makes money, but the energy I have to spend to be so negative all the time.
God, like, bro.
Gotta be tired.
I got an offer.
Tired as hell.
It's very unattractive. It's unattractive.
It is. It's like you gotta frown all the time to be fussing and complaining.
Yeah, man.
Around like this.
All that damn energy. Speaking of tired of hell, man, it's we've been on this thing 2 hours and 35 minutes. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing on up. Who's gonna be back next week?
I'll be here as usual.
You know I'll be here.
I'll be here
Lauren.
next week.
All right, Lauren, we all in this thing. We'll be back next week. Y'all have a good night. I appreciate y'all for coming on. We're gonna do it again.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good